Hello everyone and welcome to this month's edition of In the Grove. I'm Sue Heaton. Jeff Franke is off for today, but we want to welcome you once again to a very fun show, something a little different for you this month. We understand as we go into the holiday seasons, it's all about fun and fantasy, and that's what this program is here to feature. So we have a couple of local residents, very talented local residents that we want to introduce to you. You'll be meeting Lori London and Paul Hay, and they are all about fun, imagination, and fantasy as we go into this very festive time of year. So we hope you will join us. We will be right back with our program.
I like his music.
They said I could play, so any chance to play at all. You know, that's my life. I love music.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Welcome back to our program, everyone. I'm very excited to introduce my next guest is Miss Lori London, correct?
Yes.
And Lori and I were talking a little bit before taping. I know very little about you, but the little I know seems so exciting and fun. And I actually feel there's another guest present here,
Yes.
kind of hanging over my shoulder
Yes,
at the
he's
moment. But let's
watching.
begin with the basics, Lori. First of all, you are a resident of Elk Grove Village.
Yes, I
A
am,
lifelong
Sue.
resident? Have you lived here all your
No,
life?
I was born and raised in Chicago, and then moved to Elk Grove, many years ago. And I've lived in several different states, and came back here probably about 10 years ago.
The mayor would always be interested what brings a person back, because he
Oh.
said many people leave and always return.
Isn't that the truth,
Yeah,
though, in life?
yeah, we
I just
love
feel,
Elk Grove.
yeah. Oh, well, Elk Grove's a great town. Yeah, and it's not too big, which is nice. I like that, so, yeah.
And what is the thing that drives you this time of your
goodness.
life? I mean, you've probably had many experiences, as all of us do,
Yes.
that shapes our life.
Right.
But you were saying that you did work for an airline, and that's what part of your life was involved in doing. What was so impressionable about your years working with the public with the airlines?
Well, I've always loved people. You know, I'm a talker. I think we've already figured that out, you and I, before we started the program.
If you work on a talk show, you like to talk, yeah.
Right. But I do love people, and I love to travel. And of course, you have that ability when you work for an airline, which
That you meet all sorts of
oh
personalities.
yes, you do, all sorts of cultures, and yeah, it's very interesting. It is. It is. The airline industry is very, very interesting, which actually led to the discovery of the creature, the character. I shouldn't call him a creature.
That's hanging over my
the one
shoulder
that's
here?
staring. Yeah, that's the eyes behind us here. Yeah,
I hear a little buzzing.
Trippy the fly.
Okay, so
yeah.
tell us the story of this Trippy.
I would love to. Yeah.
Trippy?
Yeah, because he takes trips. Yes.
How
yes.
were you, someone you created or
Yes.
was introduced to you?
No. I think everything is a gift, and I believe I was gifted this little character one day when I was working at the airline, and I was the person that would board the people on the airplane. And I remember distinctly the flight was going to Calgary, Canada. And so I'm on the bridge, you know, right before you walk onto the airplane, right? And this little fly is like hanging out with me, and he's not being, you know, he's not buzzing me or anything. He's very mellow. And I look at the flight attendant, and she says to me, just point blank, "I don't kill anything." I said, "I don't either." And I remember we high-fived each other because it was like we were celebrating
even
our
those-
nonviolent nature.
Good for you. I can't. I don't know. I have a fly swatter in my home. Sometimes they've become a little.
Oh, I get
pesky,
the jokes. I
but,
get the jokes.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, as
So
I'm
there's
shutting,
this little fly. You're
and
boarding
he's
people.
going in and out. Well, everyone is boarded at this point, and he's going in and out. Yes, we boarded. And I had to shut the door, and you can only shut it halfway, and then you have to stop because you don't want to hurt yourself. And who do you think flies in but this little guy? And she looked at me, the flight attendant, and she shrugs her
So
shoulders.
he's on board now?
Now he's on board.
Did he buy a ticket?
I don't think so. I think he snuck on.
So-
But anyway, and so I shut the door. And Sue, I know we just met, but I'm very animated in my thinking anyway. And for about a week, I was like, why did he get on the plane? Why didn't he just fly to Calgary? You know, I was like,
sure.
why would he do that? And then I kept coming up with these other reasons, and nothing made sense. And then
So
one
you tell
day,
me all this time you couldn't get a fly off your mind?
couldn't get a fly off my mind.
He
So
was
you want
really
to talk
good.
about a divine being led? I really do believe that this is what it is. So then one day, all of a sudden, it just came in my head, he can't fly. And I thought, well, why not? And then it was obvious.
he's a fly.
Well,
He should
because
fly.
well then it's not a voice in my head, Sue, but it was, a thought in my head was, well, those are adult issues, don't go there. And then immediately, because I'm a songwriter, I thought, oh, could this be a children's book? And I was like, well, I don't write children's books. I'm a songwriter, and then your ego downs you, and then I was like, no, wait a minute, maybe I could do this, and so that's how it started. That was the inspiration for my little guy back here, Trippy the Fly.
But he eventually went to Calgary, you think?
Oh, he definitely went to
He
Calgary,
went to
and probably
have you-
some other places too. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But his spirit remains
Yes.
with you.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
what did you do then? What was the first thing you do with all the many thoughts you had at that time?
And there were many. Oh
And
my
you were-
goodness.
The creative juices were flowing.
Yes, very.
Did
very
you
much
write a
so.
song?
I have written a song.
About-
I've written his theme song. It's called Trippy the Fly, and it.
Oh, Trippy, he's Trippy the Fly.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So we're here to promote you and your efforts to promote Mr. Trippy the Fly. Have
Trippy,
you have
yeah.
you seen interest with children?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my
like
goodness.
where do you bring
Well,
him to?
I've had a couple books.
And you know what? As we speak, there's something buzzing around my feet, right?
Oh, he
Is there-
probably wants out of the box.
Oh,
Sue.
let's bring him up.
Should we? Oh, here. Oh, yeah. You want to come out, Trippy?
I think so.
Yeah, I want out.
Oh, he's talking.
Oh, you speak for him too.
Oh, I am the voice of Trippy the
Oh,
Fly.
let's meet
So I
him.
have to show you. This is a plush.
Sweet. He'd
that
make a
this
cute
is
little
only
bed
a
pillow.
prototype.
Hi. Hi, Sue.
He's very sweet.
How are you?
He's ready for flying. He's
Yeah.
got the cap and everything.
Can I give you a kiss?
He's
Okay.
we take kisses. Thank you, Trippy.
Hi, everybody. Hi,
So
boys
you
and girls.
are really intrigued with
Yeah.
this little genius here.
Yeah, he is a little
He's
genius.
brought a whole new meaning into your life.
Yes, he has.
So what have you done with him now? You say you write songs, and you've
Well,
done.
I wrote a script for the cartoon short with help, of course, from the veteran friends that I mentioned. And we started filming. I've also had a puppet made. He's off right now on an adventure, a galactic adventure. So that's coming later.
And you have some books here now. That
I
you
do.
said you're on book 3.
Yes, I am.
Are these the
on book
adventure?
3.
Oh, it is the amazing.
It is a
Adventure.
series, The Amazing Adventures of Trippy the Fly. And the books and audiobooks are Mom's Choice Award winners, a silver medallion here, which I'm
Nice.
very proud
Oh,
of.
you should be.
And then the second book, well, first of all, let me just say very quickly here, this book is a very Chicago book, or Chicago-esque book. So here he is, he can talk, read, write, dance, and sing, right?
Do
there he
everything
is.
except
But here
what
he's going down. The trajectory is not good, okay? But what I love about this little character, you see how he's a little sad,
sad
right
there.
there? But he shakes it off. He goes to the library, a lot of the iconic buildings, Navy Pier. And of course, this is the Chicago Cultural Center, which, as we know, is no longer a library, but it's a kid's book. So, so he's there. A lot of frolicking going on. But the great part is he meets the great book, and the great book is the inspiration for him to hop that 747 to go to all these places. We got the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Statue of Liberty, all of this good stuff. There
So
he is in an igloo.
through his adventures, do you hope to bring to children the idea that first they can overcome, say they don't have the ability to do
Absolutely.
something,
Absolutely.
and that the world is still open to them, that there is a
Absolutely.
way to succeed?
Absolutely,
That's the
Sue.
theme behind it all?
It really is, yeah. There's many messages with this little character. Keep trying, don't give up. It's okay to be sad, but at the same time, you can turn the page, so to speak.
okay to be
literally,
different, too?
it's okay to be different. It's wonderful to be different. Not only that, it's embrace your difference. He's got so many messages. I feel very humbled to have had this put in my lap. I really do.
Well, let's talk a little bit about you
This
as
is-
the author.
Oh, yes.
Bon
I was just going to
Voyage.
show Bon Voyage. So we're,
And he's going to speak
going to
French.
Paris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm,
But
that's
go ahead. I'm
an
sorry.
ideal trip.
Yes.
So you decide to become an author. Many people, I was saying before that years ago, I always thought that I had a book within me. And you say that's not unusual. You've met a lot of people that
I've met
say that.
so many people.
Because we all have a story.
Everyone
Each
has
life's
a story.
different. And
Everybody's got
what
a
about
story.
for those listening now that say, I'd like to do that. I would like to perhaps
Do it.
put my life in book form.
Yeah.
How does one begin that process?
Well, I'm here to tell you it is work, but I felt very passionate about what I was doing.
So number one, you have to have the passion.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would
To
think,
see it through.
or at least try some things and try to find your passion. You know, sometimes we have to look deep within, and not only that, but we have to go very far back. You know, like what was I interested in after I got detoured with life? You know, these types of questions. You know, they're life questions. But anyway, yeah. So very passionate about it. At one point, I was like, oh, do I want to address a literary agent and try to get the big publisher? Do I want to self-publish? That in itself is a huge.
Imagine. Where do you begin?
You really, you know what I did? I literally took a piece of paper, legal pad, and I went like this,
Plus
like
and minus.
pros and cons. I'm not kidding. That's what I did, and that helped quite a bit. I did
But when
ultimately
you saw
make the
that
decision.
list, the pros outnumbered the cons, and you said, "I'm going to do this."
They did, and can I share a funny story? And I am who I am, and I make no bones about it. I like myself, and people should love themselves and like themselves. But what really turned the corner for me, or flipped the page, or whatever you want to call it, I had written out what they call a, what is it called? It's called a query letter, okay? And this is what you would send to a literary agent. So I had it all typed up, and it was definitely not finished. I'm sitting in my bed, and I'm like sitting, with my legs crossed. Somehow I moved, and I hit the enter button, and I sent it. And whoever was on the receiving end, I don't know if it was the actual agent or her secretary person, but she wrote back, and she was like, you really want to have this all put together before you send. I was mortified, and I was like, you know what? These do outweigh
and I'm
this
gonna
line.
go for it.
I'm just going to go for
Were
it.
you ever discouraged during those first few weeks or months?
Oh my goodness, yes.
So
yes,
people
yes.
shouldn't become discouraged. They should, just like Trippy,
Absolutely.
persevere. Well, in addition to your books, there's some CDs over here.
Yes,
what are these
yes,
like?
yes. So Trippy, I put him out in all the formats, the paperback, the hard copy, of course, Audible and all that. And at one time I was actually, had these on my CD, my website for sale, but I can't do anything like this because I'm not in production,
Sure.
But these are the actual audio books. But prior to Trippy coming into my life, as I said, I'm a singer, songwriter. We used to do like a Patsy Cline tribute.
Why don't I see the lights are flashing? Why don't I read that detour sign? And I could keep my heart from crashing. That reckless heart of mine is driving blind.
Well, I think you are proof that within each and every one of us, there is a story
There
to be
is.
told.
There totally
Some
is,
of them
and
are
then
more
some.
exciting, perhaps, than others.
Well, his little story is
It's
more exciting. Yeah, absolutely.
So, where do we expect this time next year to see you and Trippy the Fly?
Well, I'm hoping to be at Barnes & Noble again, out in Schaumburg. I've been there a couple times. I'm not sure when the third book will be out because he does go, so he goes from Chicago, hops the 747 and goes to Paris, right? And then after that, he ends up in London. So that's what I'm working on right now, and I'm having a ton of fun with all the British slang. Oh my gosh. And as far as this plush guy here, I'm hoping if I can find the right company, I would really, really
him
love
into that. He's
to have
very
him
cute.
out. Thank you.
Isn't
I
he
think
so
he's
cute?
so sweet. Mwah.
Yeah, he's very cute.
I would love to have him out for Mother's Day. I think that would be
That'd be very
really
nice.
ideal and nice.
Well, I think the idea behind him and the real values and the
Values, yes.
interests that children will find. We all need all that positive influence.
sure.
And it seems like how you're trying to illustrate his life as a simple, often overlooked
Yeah.
little character in
Yeah.
our life.
Yeah.
All life has meaning. You
Yes.
certainly brought meaning through him.
Yeah, thank you.
And the inspiration that you have, and we wish you all the best
Oh,
of
thank you,
success
Sue. I
as
appreciate
you
that. Thank you,
go
thank you.
forward with the life for you and little Trippy
Yes,
here.
yes,
and-
things are
and the many
changing, and
adventures.
I'm open to it, and I'm He's just a can-do little fellow. He's plucky. That's what I would say.
Well,
Do we have
it's
time?
wonderful to know that you are one of us here in Elk Grove.
Yes,
and
yes,
that
Elk Grove is a
you're
wonderful
definitely
place.
going places.
Thank
so the
you.
best of wishes as
Thank you.
go ahead with your big dreams here, and may it all be a big success
Aw,
for
thank
you.
you. Namaste.
Very-
Thank
oh,
you.
namaste.
Yes.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you,
And we
Sue.
will be back with the remainder of our program.
Neuroblastoma. Immunotherapy.
Lymphoblastic.
Do the kids in your grade know these words?
I don't know if any of them know these words
Why do you?
because I survived cancer.
Welcome back to the program, everyone. I'm very happy to introduce you to our next guest. This is Paul Hay. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you for having me.
And I understand that you are a resident in Elk Grove Village.
I am.
Have you lived here all your life?
Most of my life. I've lived in Minnesota for about a year.
Oh, just for a year, but then you came back home
Yep.
to Elk Grove. So you're local. And this is kind of a fun day of taping, something unusual we haven't done before. But you have a talent, just like our first guest, Lori, special talent. You're a puppeteer.
I am.
At what point in your life, I'm very curious, do you realize that's what you would like to do with your life, is to bring the joy of puppetry to others?
About 7 years ago, I was doing volunteer work for Clearbrook, and then I watched the Being Elmo documentary, and I thought, well, one of the clients there likes the Muppets. I've worked on the voices for many years. Maybe I should give that a try.
So you mentioned the organization Clearbrook. I know a little bit about that organization. I did not know. So what do you do specifically? That's an organization for disabled. Well, they serve a lot of young people too. So you said that was your first realization where you wanted to work with puppets?
Yeah, I was working with a bunch of adults with disabilities, and they liked the puppets a lot, and I was doing shows for them almost weekly.
Why do you think that is? When they're with the world of imagination, they open up? From your vantage point, what do you think, Paul?
Yeah, I think they open up. They like talk to the puppets as if they're real people, and
Sure.
they think that they're funny and everything. A lot of fun to be around.
So at that point, you thought, I'm going to do something with it. So where do you begin? When you have this idea, where does one go with it?
What do you mean by that?
Well, where do you find puppets, and what type of puppets? There must be many type. I see we have a picture kind of over my shoulder here with, these are your friends?
Yep.
Well, where did you find them?
My look-alike puppet came from Muppet Worknot Workshop. He was a gift from my brother. He was like, for your graduation and birthday present, I got you this puppet that looks like you.
So he saw a puppet that he thought resembled his brother and gifted that to you.
Oh, he custom made it on a website. Click and pick all the features and everything.
What was your reaction when you opened the present?
I was pretty shocked, actually.
Yeah. Did you see similarities in this particular puppet in you?
Yep, hair, glasses, everything.
Yeah, and did you take to it right away and give it life?
Yeah, I actually thought of the voice for him before I opened up on Christmas Day.
Is because this was burning desire. You just felt that this would be something you'd like to do.
Yep.
Is this what you, may I ask, is this what you do full time, or is this just something on the side that brings you a lot of joy?
Just a side business.
Aside. So now you have puppets. We'll talk about them more in a minute, but so what have you found that you do with them?
I perform for kids' birthday parties. I do a bunch of videos on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook.
And now that one person has seen you and had you at a party, now it spreads and they see what fun it was. So this is how it increases exposure for you.
Yeah, usually through word of mouth.
Right. Well, we're real happy you're here today to bring us more about the world of puppetry. So again, over my shoulder are some pictures. How many do you have?
I have about 75.
75, and they all have their own personality.
Yep.
You speak for all 75 in a different voice? I'm thinking right now of, it's very popular, Fred Rogers. He's able to, throughout the years, he was able to bring a different voice to each character. And so you look at the puppet and you right away, you feel how they should speak, what their character should be.
Well, it takes some practice sometimes.
Is there school for puppetry?
I'm not sure if there is, actually.
Yeah, but not for you. You just had it within you.
Yeah, I've been a huge fan of Jim Henson and his Muppets ever since I was 2 years old.
Well, I was going to say there is some resemblance to that type of character that I see on the picture behind us. Their names, please. The puppet in red.
That's Small Paul.
Small Paul?
Yep.
Is that the one that was your first one?
Oh no, it was my first one.
Do you have a favorite?
I think I'd have to go with Small Paul.
Yeah?
it's just
And
really
why?
cool.
It's his personality that you like? And
Yeah, his personality is like my own little avatar.
do you find that the children tend to flock to one over another, or they just engage with all of them?
They usually engage with all of them.
So you perform locally also. You said at parties. Have you been to like the library and other places?
On my recent show, I was at, I did a show for Des Plaines Park District for their fall festival.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun.
We have to have a special personality. You can't be shy and reserved if you're going to write. Or do you feel that once you're in the role of the puppet, do you feel transformed in some way yourself? That your personality comes out in a special way?
Yeah, a little bit like the Blue Monster blooper. He kind of captures my silly side.
Ah, so Paul has a silly side. You know, right now as we're speaking, there's someone tugging at my foot. Could it possibly be one of your friends down here?
Just see here.
This looks like Guy Smile. And who is this that joins us today?
Hi, my name is Small Paul.
Oh, this is your favorite. This is Small Paul. Hi, Small Paul. My name is Sue. High five ya.
Yeah.
Glad to have you with us.
I'm glad to be here too.
Can I ask now, how is it that, so you control your puppets with just your hand over here and then one that controls another arm? So one's controlling the facial feature expression and one on the arm. And so you're only working with one at a time? I mean, how else would you be able, you wouldn't be able to have two puppets interacting.
Sometimes I'll work with like two at a time, like I'll perform my two monster puppets at the same time.
Did you bring any monsters?
I do, I have them right
Well,
down
let's
here.
put, all right, Mr. Paul, we're going to put you down for just a minute.
Alrighty.
I like his office. Where do you go to have them, what, do you purchase them already or you design them and then they're manufactured somewhere?
I buy them online.
And they're already manufactured, so you just pick out the puppet that you feel is of interest to you to add to your performance.
Yep, and sometimes I'll go to Salvation Army and get them some clothes from the toddler section. Oh.
Seriously? Oh, is that where you got your fine jacket at, Small Paul?
Oh no, this came from Muppet Whatnot Workshop online.
Online.
Yep.
Well, you're really styling. We don't have many guests that show up with a coat and tie. So thank you for dressing up for the occasion.
You're welcome.
So who else do we have down here? Oh, boy. So now we have two.
Hi.
These are the monsters, huh?
Yep, my name's Whooper.
Whooper.
I'm Bubbles.
Bubbles. When you, Whooper and Bubbles, when you meet children, are they frightened of you at all? No? They're happy to see you? Yes, you bring lots of joy and happiness to them. How does Bubbles speak?
Kind of like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. This is quite creative and quite fun. So you have them all in your home
Yep.
with you in a special place. And do you find that they kind of consume all your free time as far as whenever you're thinking, you're trying to create a new storyline or something for when you take them out into the world?
No, most of my free time.
Most of free time. It's always about the puppets. Do you see yourself going anywhere in the future with them, Paul? Beyond local, would you like to go beyond this area and bring your creativity to others?
Yeah, definitely.
There's one more in the corner. I'd be real. You guys will be right back with you. Good to have
Okay.
you on the show today.
Yeah.
And monsters
Yep.
can be friendly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look at this.
Hello,
Welcome. And your name, sir?
my name is Grandpa Earl.
Oh, you're the grandfather. So do you tell stories to the children, Grandpa, when you meet them?
Of course.
Yes? What is one of your favorite stories? Or rather, what is one of your favorite memories of one of the children that you have met, Grandpa?
Probably when I was at the Des Plaines Park District show, I was in the show for one little sketch involving a bunny rabbit.
And all the little girls and boys, they had a good time with Grandpa that day?
They did.
Yes. Are you planning any appearances over this holiday season?
Oh, hopefully.
Yes. Well, that would be lots of fun.
Yep.
Yes. Well, what a pleasure to meet all of you today and to
You
learn
too.
of all the local talent that we have here in Elk Grove Village. I know it's really a good idea that your brother had that day to surprise you with your first one to kind of get you started on the roll to puppetry. Are there many other people that you know of that are interested in this type of performing arts? Have you met other puppeteers that you work along with, or is it pretty much on your own?
I have in the area. I did voiceovers for Plum Crazy Puppet Troupe a few years back.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of talent there. You never would have thought when you were younger watching perhaps the Muppets that, or maybe you were, maybe that's where it planted the seed.
Maybe.
And you saw how much fun they brought into your world, so you thought, I'm going to do the same and try to bring some joy into children. And you have a lot of fun, I bet, when you're doing these performances.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Do you have something coming up in the near future you'd like to tell us about, Paul?
I'm going to be doing a Christmas puppet show for one of my friends in Elgin for kids.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's just wonderful. That's a great thing you do, and I hope that you have many more opportunities with Clearbrook, because to bring some happiness to those young adults, that they can see the world through different eyes. I think it's just great. It was a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
And all your friends. And how many? You have 75?
Yep.
How many do you normally bring out when you go to a show?
About 10 or 12.
10 or 12. And is a typical show, does it run about an hour or so, or longer than that?
About 30, 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm. How many of the children, do they ever ask you, and do you allow them to come up and try to work the puppets? Is that allowed?
They usually don't really do that.
They kind of stay back. But it's got to be, I can just imagine the first time their eyes are just wide open to see them that close up. Well, we love the world of fantasy. We love the world of make-believe, and you seem to have all that happiness. And thank you very much for bringing that to the children of our community. We're glad you're part of it, Paul. And thanks for stopping by with all your friends.
You're welcome.
Lots of fun to meet you. We will be right back with the remainder of our program.
This time of year, what do you give? VetTex. Give something to those who gave. For more information on how you can make a difference right now, go to vettix.org.
Well, we certainly thank our guests always for taking their time to come and highlight and feature the talents that they have. Thanks to Lori and Paul and all of their creativity. We could sense with both of them the joy that they have in bringing their talents to not only children, but to the parents that love them and the grandparents, aunts and uncles as well. So our thanks to them, and certainly our thanks to all of you, our viewers. So on behalf of Jeff and Ross, our general manager here, and Scott and Debbie, and certainly Beth, all those people behind the scenes that put this together for you, we all join our very best wishes and wish for all of you a very healthy and safe year as we go into another, the year 2020. Isn't it unbelievable? We certainly hope that you enjoyed every show this season, that you had time to take advantage of the summer concerts and certainly the beautiful tree lighting that we just experienced. So once again, our heartfelt wishes for a very healthy and safe New Year's, and we hope you will all join us again this time next year on In the Grove. Thanks, everyone.